Now I want to tell you about Twinx, Sadia. Twinx and we met when I was working in Sound Asia with Nikki. Get to know her, hang out in that outside bit. It looked like the Titanic outside where people used to smoke. I don't think Twinx ever smoked or anything, but she used to come hang out with us. I'd get to know about her and her voice. I really don't like high-pitched voices or things, but there's a certain type, and Twinx had it. Her voice just soothed me. It took me, it went to my peaceful place. I really love that about her. And I've noticed even Eastern European women, they have that, well, what you talking about? Why you make it? Stuff like that. So that's that voice bit. And we would start texting. Those times we used to be on Alcatel. I remember I had my Alcatel, or I'd slowly upgraded to a 3310 or something. And either there was like this 3-second, you could call for 3 seconds and quickly send each other messages. And so we used to talk to each other. They were, Miss, you love you, bye. And all that. And we started falling for each other, and it just happened oh my gosh, over the messages and everything. And there were some things apart from a voice. She also used to do something that I always love and I always look for in a relationship, and I hardly get it. She would give me nicknames. So out of all the nicknames she gave me, I don't know if I would say the best one or the craziest one, but she used to call me chocolate fudge cake. And I found that to be like one of the most genuine ones, because nicknames are meant to be shorter, but chocolate fudge cake, it's something that came from a heart, you could tell. Chocolate fudge cake. And she would be another one who would go out of their ways to be in my life as much as she could. Even though she stayed far away, find a way to come and get dropped or get a ride and stuff like that. And when I used to go and see her, I would go all the way. I forgot the names of these places, Levington or Hurlingham, or it used to be past Wayaki Way, and quite a drive for me. But I would love going to see her and hang out. Her mom would cook stuff, and I would get to meet her brother, Rizwan. That time I was a kid, so he was very annoying. And you could tell, when you come from a home where there's an absent father, it's kind of heartbreaking, but at the same time, there's that special bond that the rest of the family have, and they had it. So why I'm bringing this up is because it was their kind of survival mechanism to be resourceful with things. But in his case, he was just straight up and came to asking for things. Can you give me this? Can you give me this? Can you give me money? Can you drop me here? I found it a bit annoying, but I did take him around in different places and we used to hang out. So one of these times when we hung out, I used to rap, and the raps usually have the N-word. So when I said the N-word, he kind of got offended on behalf of these people, and he's like, my friends in ISK, or was it ISK? I can't remember which friends. And I'm like, look, I get your point, but I'm just rapping. I don't mean any malice out of it. And I got his point. Because he was much younger, he was still a bit green or wet behind the ears, as they would say. But as he grew up, I would see him becoming this proper entrepreneur person. He used to do Kenya nights. Then I think he did something with Kikoi Festival or something like this. So he got into that. I haven't kept tabs on him, but I'm sure he's doing really well at the moment. But yeah, the things, either the stepdad or the real dad, I can't remember the full story, but I think he used to make promises. And so they were originally Ahmeds, and then they became Ibrahims. Or Ibrahim is the mom's name. Or I don't know what the story is, but they've changed the surname now. And I remember there was an issue with the passports, or Sad's constantly trying to get out, just like me. Exactly we'll talk about how our paths were just like train tracks, just so parallel. But she would keep trying to get out, and something came in the way, and I was like, I'm trying to get out, something comes in the way. So I was on board with all those things. I really felt it. I really wished the best for her. If she made it out, man, just the world she would have been. The last time I went to Kenya, I think she's doing well. I don't know. I didn't get to see her. She was hosting some things at night, and I saw her looking for a job or some opportunities. So fingers crossed. But yeah, so that way, because of the train tracks, we were each other's twin flames. As Matt Khan, I'll share a link if I can. Matt Khan talks about soulmates, twin soul contracts, twin flames, and all these things. We were each other's twin flames. Very similar, very another relationship which was either so much love, or when we got into the dramas, it was you are always the same. I was looking through the chats and I'm like, oh my gosh, what we used to do. But that showed how much love we had for each other. We really had some genuine deep love for each other. But we also got into a lot of that makeup breakup thing, and And personally, like after all the psychology and everything I've studied to deal with my things, I chalk it down to that missing father figure, and we were trying to fill holes in different ways and stuff and stuff. And that's another thing. Like we've been on our own journeys to healing and all this, dealing with traumas and stuff like that. So another similarity there. What was said is this would turn out to be another overseas relationship, overseas love, which is why most of the dramas happen. When we were together, everything else disappeared. So it's that overseas stuff which just created so much rift. And I really was, once I started creating better boundaries, I really put that overseas relationship into the box of never getting into those kind of things. And I think I talk about it in Taz's one anyway. So now every time I went back, we would reunite, we would redo things and stuff like that. So I'll talk about those on individual trips. I'm sure I'll get into the individual trips in, season 3, season 4, season 5, many seasons ahead, man. I just want to say, out of all those trips, I think it was the 2009 trip was my favorite. We spent so much time together, went to Mombasa. I shared the video in Ria's time capsule where I'm getting my haircut. That's Twinx taking the video. So she was there for that big moment. We spent so much time together. And I think that was the trip where I got in trouble, or Twinx got in trouble with her mom because she said she was going to college. And then I picked her up from college and the mom was waiting. No, she had a suspicion because either Graffin's called her to tell her, look, she comes and then she gets dropped and then she skives or something. So, man, the eyes Rukia gave me that day. I was toasted just from the looks. So I don't know what happened to Twinx, but Lord bless everyone. And during all these trips, what I was doing was I had this sentimental box. I would take pictures of everything I could take pictures of and slowly keep taking all the things like my silver bracelets, my whatever presents people gave me. And there was a little bit left, which I asked Twinx, can you take care of this for me? Can you please? Because I don't trust the people in the house. They wanted everything. Wait till I get to the season and talk about that will and the craziness that happened with that will, man. If you see that will, imagine nothing's been left to the only person moving forward, the Takrar name. My son over there playing football right now. Nothing's been left to him. So sad. It's so sad that that side of the family has been like this. But anyway, that's a different story for their time capsule, which we'll get to when I have the energy to deal with that. But yeah, between that box has gone to so many houses. Twinx, Ash, Darshita, Ria, this. Like at some point, I think she even got fed up, and at some point, even our relationship kind of went sour. I don't know if she was really pissed off at me or she was just tired of dealing with the box, but I was just obsessed with getting that box. So I kept bothering her about it. I'm just like, I just really want it. So that one trip, it was very awkward. I think I just picked the box and it's like, okay, yeah. Or I don't know if she was even there, but we'll get into that time capsule then. And finally, I got my sentimental box and things were kind of sour between us. So it just felt like a bad taste between both of us. And then many years later, or sometime later, she messaged me saying, I never thanked you for something. I think I turned her into, I inspired her to turn her into a blogger or writer or something. And again, I would be doing things and I would see her doing things like the same things I used to do a few years later, or like repeating the same things I did. And I'm like, so twin flame, such a twin flame, man. Like, I really hope one thing she's figured is all this blogging, all the steps we've taken, it's to heal certain things in our lives. I hope she's figured that bit out. I'll actually get in touch with her about that. I need to find out how she's doing. But yeah, but anyway. But it's good to know that you inspire people, you've helped people in some way or another. So I always keep these kind of memories. So I know I've done good in some way or another. Now, while I was away, she would pull out all the stops and do so much to stay in touch with my mother. Out of all the people in my life, I've never seen someone do so much to stay in touch, take care of my mom, be in contact, this and that. And I really loved and appreciated. I think she would find a way to get dropped, and then my mom would say, I'll pick you from the office, I'll send someone to pick you, and they would get together. And I just loved, every time I talk to my mom, she's like, yeah, Twinx is fine, she's this, she's that, this and that. And after my mom passed away, she dedicated such a lovely poem. Like every year when I think of my mom, I will always go through that post. I've shared it in my blog. I think it's called Twinx's Tribute to Mother, Second Mother or Mother Number 2 or something. It's such a deep, such a meaningful thing. Oh, man, this lady. And my connection with her mom, like, I did try, but I think after that college thing, things, there was an invisible barrier there. But we would still hang when I went to see them and stuff, or talk to them, and they'd tell us about their stories and what they're planning. Something about passports. I don't know why I keep coming back to that. But one of the visits I went, I would be sharing my music with her. It's that haircut one, I am sure. And she introduced me to a song, Rihanna, Hard. That song still goes hard to this day, man. Such a good song, such a motivational, like brilliant, resilient. The beats, everything about that song is hard, man. It's hard. So another twin flame thing, we would be into our movies and music and stuff because it had some meaning. We would put so much meaning to these things because those were the things we would latch onto. Now I don't need these things that much, but music and movies. And when I went for that trip, she would be into Twilight those times. And we went to Westgate Cinema to watch the movie. It's not my thing, but you do what you do for love. What you won't do for love. You do everything, don't give up. Someone's listening to me outside the car. And after that trip, we kind of detached. I always prefer detaching with love. In this case, we kind of just detached. I don't think there was any malice. There wasn't any hate, but there wasn't either love. It's just like we just went. And as I already talked about in Ria's time capsule, because of the boundaries I set, this last time when I went, I had a list of people I wanted to see, people to meet, things to eat. And even though Sadia and even though Twinx was in the list, I was like, look, if it happens, it happens. Like, I don't see it happening if I don't make my effort. So I didn't get to see her, but she's hosting some open night somewhere in Westlands. I think the mall or somewhere near the mall. I can't figure out that area because there's a new highway going on top and stuff. So, but yeah, the other thing I think she's been doing is something to do with jewelry. I can't keep track because I don't know how many profiles. There used to be maybe a Sadia one. The blog, maybe it's changed, like surnames changed, or there's two profiles with different surnames, and I can't keep track, man. It's still a bit loosey-goosey for me. So all I know is there's something to do with jewelry she's doing, something to do with the open mic. So it's good to see she's still into the entertainment and showbiz side of things. And that's another thing why we hit it off. And yeah, just the memories, just remembering the love we shared, the things we did, the messages, the memories. I feel so happy for that part of Parasta's life. And I say Parasta's life because I've lived a few different lives after that. I've reborn and recreated myself so many times that Parasta, I feel so happy for Parasta for having Twinx, Ada, Taz, people in his life around these times. Actually, Taz came later, but Twinx was a big part. Ria, Twinx was a big part of especially Parasta's life. And she'll always have a very special spot there. Chocolate fudge cake. And she would also be chuffed at the way I would keep calling her Twinx. She's like, oh yeah, even your dad calls me Twinx. Very few people I dated actually connected with my family. So that was also a deep part of things. Look, a lot of memories are starting to bubble up and I don't want to go too deep into it. I just wanted to make the most important part. So yeah, see you in the next one.